In this video, we will explore how to convert fractions into decimals. Remember that our place value is beyond the decimal place, so to the right of the decimal is tenths, then hundredths, then thousandths. So we can read this fraction as 7/10ths, and we should know that that will be a 7 in our tenths place, or 0.7. A way to confirm this is to divide our numerator by our denominator, and note that we still do get 0.7. Convert 19/20ths to a decimal. One way to convert fractions to decimals that will always work is to divide the numerator by the denominator. So when we take 19 divided by 20, we get 0.95. Convert 5/6 to a decimal. Round to the nearest hundredth. Notice that in the last two problems, we didn't need to round. But look what happens when we take 5 divided by 6. We get 0.8333333, and it seems to go on forever. So here we'll round to the nearest hundredth. Remember that hundredth is 2 places past the decimal, so we look to that third place, the second 3, to be the boss and tell our first 3 how to round. The second 3 tells our first 3 to stay the same, so we will enter this answer as 0.83. Write as a decimal with an exact answer, no rounding. Notice that this will be 1/10 or 0.1, and if you wish to confirm this with a calculator, you may do so. El Cid's pet monkey has the following weight: 8 3/8 pounds. What is its weight as a decimal? Notice here that we have 8 whole pounds. That will go in our ones place on the left side of the decimal. We can then use our calculator to figure out the decimal conversion of that fraction, which is 0.375. It says here if the decimal is repeating, round to the nearest tenth, but our decimal is not repeating. So we just need to place the 375 on the right side. Notice that this particular problem has units with it, so we do need to include the word pounds with our answer. Convert 91/100 to a decimal. Note that this says 91 hundredths. That means we'll have 0 and 91 hundredths, because the second decimal place is our hundredths place. Again, if you would like to confirm this with a calculator, you can simply type in 91 divided by 100. Convert 13/25ths to a decimal. We'll take our numerator, 13, divide that by 25, which is our denominator. We get 0.52. Convert 2/13ths to a decimal. Again, we will take 2 divided by 13. And notice here we want to round to the nearest hundredth. So again, we know that our first decimal place is our tenths place, our second place is the hundredths place, and then we'll look to that third decimal place, which is a 3, to see how we should round. Remember, 3 is going to tell that 5 to stay the same, so our answer here is 0.15. Write as a decimal, which is exact with no rounding. So again here we'll just take our numerator, 17, divided by our denominator, which is 12. Notice we get 1.41666666, and then that 7 at the end. Really, this is 1.416 repeating, and your calculator has just rounded that last place to a 7. But Get More Math is asking us for an exact answer without rounding. When we have a repeating decimal, we can enter that using a bar notation. So note that we don't have a repeating ones value. And we don't have anything repeating in the tenths place. So we have that 4 is by itself and then the 1. The 6 is what's repeating. So we'll go down here, click this bar notation, and type our 6 under that. That means that we will have that 1.41 and then 6's that continue indefinitely. And finally, in our last example, write as a decimal, exact with no rounding. Again, we have that 10, which is a whole number. So we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to put the 10 and then the decimal. And then we can come over here, divide our fractions, and we get 2 repeating. So we want to do this with an exact answer. Note that only the 2 is repeating. So we'll use that bar notation and then type the 2 to enter that as a repeating decimal.